The headline is, Harry seeks royal return to heal a rift with his father. According to the copy, it says the Duke of Sussex is willing to return to a temporary royal role in support of his father during his illness. Now, and apparently this is an attempt to heal the rift with him and the king, and obviously with his brother. Apparently he has had several warm exchanges since Charles received his cancer diagnosis. The Duke has told friends he would step into a royal role whilst his father is unwell. Now, he, if you remember this, is fifth in line to the throne. He is also still a counsellor of state. It's quite complicated. If the monarch is incapacitated, they call upon the counsellors of state. I think there are 7 of them, and then you need 2 of them to enact laws. The Sun's front page, Yankee Harry. This is another twist to this interview that he gave an American media station. He yesterday revealed that he had considered becoming an official US citizen. I don't believe a word of it. He'd lose his title, so he wouldn't be doing that. And the Mirror this morning, Harry, I love my family. Prince Harry has talked of his wish to patch things up with his family and said he will see them as often as he can. Lewis, would Harry give up his royal titles, given he's just done the website rebrand as well, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? He's not going to become American.
I don't think he's going to become an American citizen. I think it would be too messy, as you say. It'd be the titles. They probably just spent a fortune on the rebrand, so I doubt it. But I think it probably is something he's considered. Of, you know, would I be better off or worse off tax-wise?
I think we should help him on his way and strip them all of their titles, including the little prince and princess. Let them live in America as normal people with millions of pounds.
What's going on here? So what is going on here? So Harry, we've seen the relaunch this week. We talked about it on the talk. So the rebrand of the website. It's really a holding website. It then goes to 3 other websites, including Archwell Foundations, Archwell itself, the production company. It also then goes to Sussex Royal, and I thought the late Queen said that you can't use that title. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But also Harry, obviously, I wonder whether he realises he's not very popular in this country.
Look, the other way to look at this is maybe, is this Harry's cry for help? Does Harry want to come back? Is their marriage in trouble? Would he like to see some open arms? Because my fear for Harry always was that when this union falls apart, when he has served his usefulness, she'll be there with his children, and he'll have no open arms to welcome him back. And that's a horrible state for anyone to be in.
We don't know, but I do think that there is, and I don't know, maybe it's the optimist in me, but I do think that when these things happen in a family, when someone dies or someone becomes unwell, that really can have a healing effect on, let's forget about this now, let's come back together. And that's none of our business. That's for them to sort out. And if it does, then that would be undoubtedly a great thing, right? If Harry and Meghan heal the rift with the royals, and you know they can.
But William demonstrated very clearly that he has no intention of healing that rift right now. He's too angry, and frankly, I think that Harry has said so much about his wife, so much about Camilla, that I think that that's going to be a wound that takes a long time to heal over.
But your point about a cry for help is a really interesting one, and it may be the case, actually. He's realised that actually he does need his family. We talked about this, I think, on the show yesterday, saying that in times of crisis, when your family member is ill, actually families do tend to come together.
Yes, of course.
And I kind of feel like, it's now or never. Your dad is ill with cancer. If this isn't going to bring you back together, what will? Because then we're looking at decades down the line. And
we also don't know how ill the king is. Obviously, Harry will be privy to that information, so that may also temper his view.
But I'm not sure that the British public would be on board with Harry stepping into royal roles.
We said we never would tolerate Camilla becoming queen.
Yeah, true, but Camilla was on a trajectory up. Harry has gone up. We loved him. We absolutely loved him. And then he has done all this.
But if they split up...
Different.
Yes, it's different, isn't it? Why is it different?
Because I think they blame her. I think mainly people blame her, that Harry is this weak little man who has been captured by the witch, and...
Don't forget, though, there are Harry and Meghan supporters out there. I don't know how many there are, but there are some. And I do think we as British people, we must be better than this, in this sense of they've said what they've said, and we know what they've said, but we don't want to kind of have this vendetta against them. I think, because sometimes you read these papers and it's like, Oh,
but come on.
Yes, but we could have read his book as well. It was his book.
But they fuel it because there is drip. In terms of timing, it's always them releasing a press release. You know, I'm sick and tired of talking about Harry and Meghan. I mean, here we go again, talking about Harry and Meghan. But you see, they're very good at this. They're extremely good at this and manipulating the media.
They are, and hopefully with time they can talk about other things other than their past lives as royals and carry on with that. Because I think that's the problem, isn't it? That the British public have an issue with, well, you said you didn't want to be royal and then you talk about nothing else. But then I think it is incredibly hard to be that high profile. Anything you say to anyone ends up in a book or in a headline.
That's true.